Hello friends, welcome to my e-clinic. Today we are going to learn a very important topic of dentistry, which is development of tooth. Also, make sure you listen the lecture carefully as I will be asking you questions in between. So, we will study this topic in 3 parts. In the first part, we'll study about dental lamina, morphological stages of tooth development, Hertwig's epithelial root sheet, and the histological stages of tooth development. In the second part, we'll study about amelogenesis, and in the third part, we'll study about dentinogenesis. Now, although in textbook these two chapters are given under different topics, if we study them together with development of tooth, it will be easy for us to understand. So let's begin. Development of tooth comes under dental embryology. Now, dental embryology may be difficult for some people. Only thing is build your imagination. The more you imagine, the more easily you will understand. So let's imagine a developing embryo. Now, this is the developing mouth of embryo and it's called as stomodium. And this is the developing gut of embryo, which is called as the foregut. Now, this stomodium is lined by an epithelium which is called as the oral ectoderm. Okay, this is called as oral ectoderm. And the foregut is lined by an epithelium which is called as the endoderm. This is endoderm. Now, this ectoderm and endoderm comes in contact with each other by a delicate membrane which is called as the buccopharyngeal membrane. Now, what happens when the embryo is 27 days old? This buccopharyngeal membrane, it ruptures and a connectivity is formed between the stomodium and the foregut. Now, we would be concentrating on the stomodium in which the future tooth will develop. Okay, so now suppose this is the oral ectoderm and beneath this oral ectoderm there is a connective tissue which is called as the ectomesenchyme. When the embryo is 6 weeks old, this ectomesenchyme sends some signal to the ectoderm. These signals are nothing but the instructions to the oral ectoderm to begin with the tooth development. Then how does this oral ectoderm react to these signals? Certain areas of the oral ectoderm, they proliferate more rapidly than the other areas to form knob-like structures which invade into the underlying connective tissue. Now, this oral ectoderm is called as primary epithelial band. Okay, this whole ectoderm is now called as primary epithelial band. So, a question for you all. First appearance of tooth formation occurs in 6th week intrauterine, 2nd week, 9th week or 4th month. Now, we all know that maxillary and mandibular arch are horseshoe shaped. So, if we imagine the primary epithelial band in horseshoe shaped structure, it will look like this. Now, when the embryo is 7 weeks old, what happens is that primary epithelial band is divided into two processes, outer process and the inner process. The outer process is called as vestibular lamina and inner process is called as dental lamina. This dental lamina is the site of formation of primary teeth. Now, the question arises, where does the permanent teeth arise? So, there is also a lingual extension of these dental lamina and this is called as the successional lamina. And this successional lamina gives rise to the permanent incisors, canines and premolars. Okay, so this is successional lamina. It gives rise to the permanent incisors, canines and premolars. So where does the permanent molars arises? The dental lamina has got a distal extension. This distal extension is responsible for development of permanent first, second and third molars. Also, keep in mind this successional lamina is functional for 5th month in utero to 10th month of age, while this dental extension of dental lamina is functional from 4th month in utero till 4 years of age. So now let's brush up. This dental lamina gives rise to the primary teeth. Okay, it gives rise to primary teeth, and the successional lamina, it gives rise to the permanent incisors, canines and premolars, while the distal extension of dental lamina gives rise to the permanent first, second and third molar. Next question for you is, the successors of deciduous teeth develops from stellate reticulum, dental lamina or the neural ectodermal cells. Now let's see what is the fate of dental lamina. The total activity of dental lamina is for 5 long years. Some parts of dental lamina function for a short time while the other parts function for a longer time. For example, in the third molar region, the dental lamina is active for up to 5 years of age. Also, as the tooth development continues, the teeth loses its contact with the dental lamina. Now, sometimes the remnants of dental lamina are seen in the jaws and gingiva in the form of epithelial island, and these islands are called as cell rests of caries. Now, what happens to the vestibular lamina? We have earlier seen that the primary epithelial band, it divides into buccal and lingual process. The buccal process is called as the vestibular lamina or the lip furrow band, and this lip furrow band, it hollows out to form the oral vestibule, which is a space between the alveolar portion of the jaws and lips and the cheek. Now, question again for you. Dental lamina is active up to 1 year, 2 years, 4 years or 5 years. So in this lecture, we have studied about the basics of stomodium, details of dental lamina, its formation, the primary epithelial band, the dental lamina proper, the successional lamina and the distal extension of dental lamina. We have also studied the functions of each one of these and the fate of dental lamina. We have also studied about the vestibular lamina. Now, in the next lecture, we will be studying the actual process of tooth development and how does it appear in various morphological stages. Hope you liked the video. Please give a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.